Gringo has a podcast?
It's out of Germany.
Everybody's got a podcast now, man.
Go ahead, Shadow Wolf.
Good evening, Mr. Deric, and in my case, good morning from Germany.
Good morning.
Yeah, now everyone has a podcast, even me.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about your impression about the new guys in the first game and about your, let's say, reworked backline in front of you with like every Kinsler made his first USL game, for example, or the other ones. So I wanted to ask about your first impression as the teacher and more experienced player on the pitch.
I think it's a really good question. It's really observant from last year to this year. It is very different. And I think especially with this first game, I think there's a lot to improve on. A lot of new faces out there. And I remember in preseason, that was like the second or third day of preseason, we were like, today's goal is to learn 5 people's names. So I think there's a lot to improve on. I think the style of play, I think just learning people's tendencies, we can improve on that. And I think just kind of being more knowledgeable about where players are on the pitch whenever someone receives the ball. I think we're taking a little bit too long to circulate the ball around the field, and I think if we have an idea of what we want to do with the ball before we collect it, then we will be more efficient in moving the ball around. I think the play will become faster, but today I think we're just a little bit too slow in the first half. Maybe the idea wasn't there of what we were going to do with the ball, but I think, those are things that are easily to improve on, and I think everybody knows what we need to improve on, so that's a nice feeling.
And Tyler, today we were able to see some of your leadership on the field. You showed some moments of running up on the field and urging the line to push up and make sure you guys were attacking, not getting dazed and confused after that one goal came in early on. So talk to us about how you were able to communicate with that line, especially knowing that this is a new line and then directing the midfield with Grande Valley.
I just try to keep my focus on the back 4, back 5, back 3, however many we have defending at the time. And, Gringo does a really good job. Jose Torres does a really good job in the midfield about directing players, about where they want to go and what they want to do and what they expect. So my focus is easy, just on the back line. I think I know what you're talking about, and I think it was towards the end of the first half. We cleared the ball up, and their goalkeeper had the ball, and we were just too deep. So we just needed to push the guys up the field to make the space compact in front of them so it wouldn't be easy for them to come back down the field. And I think it was, 38th minute in the first half of our first game of the season. So I think guys' fitness levels were a little low. So I think that was just one of the moments where they were like, yeah, we need to step up, but we're super tired. So let's just sit back.
Tyler, first impressions, like I said, with these new players in a professional USL Championship environment. What were your first impressions on some of these new players that right off the bat got their first experience in second division?
Yeah, I think it was a good game for them to step into. It's a home game. It was hot out there today. I got to give credit to Las Vegas. Like, they were diving in front of balls to block passes. They were trying to make tackles. They were trying to do everything they can to make our lives hard. And those are the games that you want for the Tomas and from Andy and from it's not Taylor's first game, but it's his first game here in RGV on this pitch. So I think for those guys, it's really important to have these tough games, these tough adversity, and we're all going to grow and become better and become stronger. It's the first game of the season, and our goal is still high, and our goal is to improve every game. So I think it's a good game for us to improve on.
Tyler, just my own question for me tonight. Being one of the veterans on this team, what did you learn from tonight's game that can probably be put into place for next Sunday night's game? Because it seemed like you had the bigger responsibility, at least on the field, to kind of be that teacher of the defensive back line for you tonight.
I think the most important thing is to be organized and collective and look like a soccer team. I think so. If we can get into the details of everything, but I think as a whole team, The effort has to be there, the communication has to be there, and the willingness to work together has to be there. The passing, the movement off the ball, you know, sometimes I had a ball that I tried to pass 10 feet to my left and it came off my laces and went 30 feet up in the air. So I think it's just one of those things where it's early on in the season. The ideas are there. We can tell the guys, we know what they want to do with the ball, but sometimes the execution is just a little off. So the ideas are there. You know, I know Wilmer, we're going to work all week on just fine-tuning the execution, that little bit of quality that he wants from us.
And then I did see you post-game speaking to your goalkeeper coach and kind of having some comments about certain things in the match. Obviously, we're not going to talk about specifics, but what are some of those things that you kind of look at post-game into your performance and say, hey, maybe I need to maybe tweak this and tweak that? Obviously, this is the first game of the season, but you look at every match importantly.
Yeah, you know, with Kevin, my goalkeeper coach, there's a lot of stuff that I want to improve on this year, and he wants me to improve on. And like I was saying earlier, like the ideas are there for us to improve. It's just like the game reaction, the game speed is the ultimate test for the things that you want to improve on. And it's going to be difficult in games, so that's why we have video on Monday. That's why we reflect on what things we did well, things we did bad, and we're going to take hours this week to work on things that we want to improve on, or that I want to improve on this year.